Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Your Mark on the World show. I'm your host, Devin Thorpe. I'm a contributor at Forbes covering social entrepreneurship and impact investing. And today we have a great social entrepreneur as our guest. Ty Walrod is the CEO of Bright Funds. Ty, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Devin. It's great to be here. I really appreciate it.
Well, we're excited to have you, and thank you for taking the time to be with us this morning. This is an interesting thing that you're doing. You've created a tool online to make employee giving easier. That's the way I think about it as the baseline, but it goes beyond that. But tell us a little bit about what Bright Funds is and how people can use it.
So Bright Funds is a digital platform for giving, and we partner with leading companies that offer our giving program to their employees as a benefit. So we partner with great companies that really care about the culture within the company, and they care about empowering their employees to do good.
So tell us a little bit about how it works. So that's the theme. How does it work mechanically? What are you doing?
So we've built a web service, a technology platform that companies can leverage. And nearly 80% of large enterprises and increasingly smaller enterprises see that their workforce has changed to a workforce that expects something like Bright Funds in the office. And so what Bright Funds is every employee gets an account with Bright Funds. It's almost like a bank account where the company says, we're going to put up money, and for every dollar you give, we're going to support what you care about. So every employee gets a Bright Funds account. And then what's really cool is the employee can say, look, I know I care about these two favorite individual charities of mine. Maybe it's Big Brothers Big Sisters, maybe it's Sama Source, maybe it's the Red Cross, but I also care about a cause area. So every employee gets to build their own profile for giving, if you will, and they can fund it right through payroll or credit card or PayPal, however they want to fund it. And it makes one easy place for the employee to really come together and make an impact in those cause areas that the employees care about.
That's very cool. So how do the non-employers participate? Because this isn't just an employer-employee program. It has application beyond that. What are some other use cases?
So actually, Bright Funds started as a consumer product. We started offering Bright Funds to thousands of individuals who joined Bright Funds because they think of their giving in a more impactful way. They wanted to make their giving more focused, more strategic. So we started Bright Funds for those people. But what we found in our first several thousand people after joining, we had people from Google, people from McKinsey and Company. We had even people from large enterprises around the world saying, hey, this would be very cool in my workplace. So what we did is we set out to say, what's the opportunity to partner with companies? And it turns out that opportunity is huge. 45% of millennials really want to engage in the workplace around causes. And it's one of the top 3 factors that people consider when they're joining the workplace, whether their company gets involved with causes. So we said there's a huge opportunity to take this beautiful product, Bright Funds, that helps people be more strategic with their giving and leverage the workplace as a way to empower employees. So that led us to starting to partner with companies, and we've been able to partner with some really incredible companies so far.
Now, I've been talking to your team a little bit about setting up a fund for my company, but I don't have a lot of employees. Got a couple of contractors who help me a little bit, but really no employees. But I have a following, people who are following what I do. How would this work for me? What would be the use case for the Your Mark on the World Fund?
This is a perfect use case. So you have a big audience, you're a very influential person. And with Bright Funds, this would be the same whether you're building your fund within your company or whether you're an individual who's an influencer or someone with a group of friends that they want to get to support their cause. So in your case, you can say, I care about these 5 organizations, and it doesn't matter how many you choose. But I would encourage you to come up with a strategy for yourself and say, this is why I picked these organizations, and then share that with the Your Mark on the World audience. And then once you do that, you actually get a link to your fund, and you can get all of your friends and supporters and followers to support your fund. And it's a really great way to bring people together around a cause. And what we're seeing is we've got individuals doing it, building their own funds and getting friends and family to support their initiatives. And we're seeing the same thing within companies. You get people who want to respond to a disaster who might build a fund that's focused on the organizations they choose. Or maybe there's a local crisis or a healthcare issue, and employees want to raise money for a colleague's family member. So there are a lot of use cases. And in your case, we would build you a fund, or you would build it. It takes about 3 minutes. And then share it with your audience and say, here's Devin Thorpe's fund, and here's how I'm making an impact in the world.
And employers go through essentially the same process. So when you have an employer case, is the employer telling the employees where their money goes, or do the employees separately get to choose their own portfolio? That's
a really great question, Devin. So what we're seeing is sort of the old way of thinking about employee giving in the workplace was very transactional. And Bright Funds aligns the company and the employee in making a difference in the world and having a positive impact. So the number one takeaway is the employees can always give wherever they want. It's really about empowering the employee to make a difference. But one of the things that makes Bright Funds really cool and really impactful is when we launch at a company, we actually build one or more funds that supports the strategic initiatives that the company cares about. And then there's a really fun and easy and engaging way to get employees involved in, maybe it's STEM, or maybe it's education or healthcare. But having a company-specific fund says, if you want to support our company fund, you can. If you want to build your own fund, or if you just want to give to your favorite charities, you can do it all within Bright Funds.
This is really powerful, isn't it?
I think it is. I think, Devin, one of the things that makes Bright Funds really special and differentiated is, I mentioned how Bright Funds is no longer transactional giving. And what I mean by that is not only do you give, and it's easy with Bright Funds, but once you start giving, we help you be more strategic with your giving. So we actually make it easy. If you know where you want to give, great. But if you know the cause area that you care about, maybe it's water. We actually have a water fund that focuses on clean water, sanitation, hygiene, and infrastructure. So that's sort of the strategy of the water fund. And once you give there, you're making a strategic impact. So it makes your giving more impactful if you want to take it to the next level. And there are increasing numbers of employees or individuals using Bright Funds who really want to do that with their giving.
As I build my own fund, or as others build their own funds, can they put one of your funds in their funds as part of the fund? So
so you can only build a fund from individual organizations, but the thing is, we have more than 1.5 million charities for you to choose from. So if it's a charity and it's legally registered and in good standing with the IRS and those sort of types of things, then you can build a fund with it. And we see people really focusing on all sorts of things. So maybe that's V5 is fund of funds, sort of like some financial markets.
That's right. That's right. A fund of funds. Well, Ty, this is really, really exciting stuff. Give us a sense of scale. Give us a sense of progress. Where are you here?
So, we really took our time to make sure that we had product market fit with our early adopting companies. But Bright Funds has really started taking off in the enterprise space. We now have more than 25 enterprise partners. Most of them are in the Bay Area, but increasingly we're providing a national audience of companies. And Bright Funds is a global platform. So in the Bay Area alone, we're serving more than 30,000 employees for their giving. And that's a lot of people who really feel empowered to make a difference in the world. So the market as a whole for giving is tremendously large. And in the last 10 years, we've gone from maybe 10 to 15% of companies to, like I said, nearly 80% of companies offer or want to offer a workplace giving program. So that's the market opportunity we're tackling, and it's worth billions of dollars. It's a huge opportunity to do good in the world.
Well, this is really exciting, and to think about all the good you're catalyzing with your program. Ty, I want to just ask you a couple of personal questions, just to get into your head a little bit as a social entrepreneur. You know, as you have success at this work, you become a role model to other people. But who is your role model? Who do you look up to for inspiration?
Well, I've had a few people who very distinctively have been my role models throughout the years. I'm 31 years old, so I've looked up to a few people. But one of the most important people who comes to mind is my grandmother. She's 96. She may not know this. She's 96. She was born and grew up in the center of the Dust Bowl in Kansas. And they lived through conditions that are unimaginable to me. And it makes me realize that I live a life that is very fortunate. And what I really appreciate, I talk to her every week, usually on Thursday mornings. And what I really appreciate about learning from her is she has perspective that spans almost 100 years, from having nothing to building a great family and being very fortunate. So I have to say my grandmother's been, she doesn't probably know how much of a positive impact she's been on me, but I've learned a lot from her and talking to her basically every week for years.
No, that's great. That's great. Now, Ty, you're obviously an exceptionally bright guy. You're having tremendous success at this, but I suspect you could do just about anything. Why are you doing this?
That's, you know, Devin, I think for me, I've always found value in my work. But prior to Bright Funds, I had the opportunity to start a nonprofit organization that really had a lasting and big social impact. And after stepping away from that, I realized, wow, like I want all of my work to be as meaningful and impactful as that. And what we're doing with Bright Funds is we've built a scalable technology company around doing good. And we're capitalizing on this shift in perspectives in society where people, whether it's investors or employees or consumers, they expect more from their companies. And Bright Funds is that kind of company. We're doing well, we're doing good, and that's the kind of entrepreneur I want to be. I could choose where I want to spend my time, and I want to spend my time building this company because of the impact potential that we have.
Well, it is a great impact that you're having already, and that's exciting. And that really leads to my next question. You're having success, you're having impact. The people who watch this show come from all walks of life and have very different perspectives, but one thing in common, and that is a desire to have more impact. Can you give us one actionable tip that would help us all to have more impact?
Absolutely. I think one of the special things that Bright Funds does is it helps you go from a reactive donor to someone who really takes control of your impact on the world. In fact, that should resonate with your mark on the world. And so what I encourage people to do before they give to the next charity that asks them for money, I encourage people to think about really what they care about. What is it that matters to me, and given enough resources, where could I really make a difference? And that's the most important question, because people care about all kinds of different things. That's why it's really important to empower every individual to make the difference they want to make, which is what Bright Funds does. So once you know what that cause is, whether it's a global macro cause like alleviating poverty worldwide, or maybe it's working on homelessness in Detroit, whatever that cause is, once you know what it is, then we can help you find the best organizations in that cause area, or you can be empowered to make the difference on your own. But that's the first step. Think about it for 5 minutes and really find something that you know resonates with you. And once you know what that anchor is, then you can start to make your difference in that cause area.
Fantastic. Well, Ty, we really want to thank you for taking the time to be with us today. I want to give you one chance before you go to tell people how they can connect with you and learn more about Bright Funds. I know a lot of people here will be intrigued by our discussion. So tell them how they can follow up.
Absolutely. So, of course, Bright Funds is brightfunds.org. We'd love to have you check us out. If you're at a company, we'd love to have you say, hey, check out Bright Funds. This could be cool. And for me personally, I'm Twitter at Ty Walrod, and I'm very approachable. So would love to engage, and thanks for the opportunity.
All righty, Ty, thank you very much for being with us today. We really appreciate it.
Thanks a lot, Devin.
All righty, let's do some good.
All right.